So now let's go to that, Velma, because you know.
Thank you. Look, it was just one of those moments, and we all believe that our story isn't powerful, and that's the biggest mistake we can make. And I never wanted to share it because I was embarrassed, and maybe people would judge me. And the moment I started opening my mouth and watching audiences around the world and their responses, and it makes them realize we are all equal. We all have our stuff. Bring your stuff with you, but make it count. Don't just use it as leverage. We can either be victim or victorious, and I just chose victorious by surrounding myself with the right people. I'm not saying it was a magic pill. But I walked into that newsagent, Rhonda, and I just, I was facing bankruptcy, and I literally thought to myself, everyone that said I was useless and had no gifts were right. And I should have listened. And what was I thinking as an Indian woman to start a business? Who did I think I was? And I walked into the newsagent and I thought there must be a Thinking Woman's magazine here with real women that I could bump into at a coffee shop, that were sharing their adversity stories and what did they do and how were they thinking and how did they move forward. And because I've been out of the country for 8 years when we were traveling and working, I didn't realize how bad magazines had gotten. And I actually came out of there looking through all of them and I was really angry. And then I said, Shar, be the change. Stop complaining about something, do something about it. So I'm sitting there going, yeah, right, I'll start a magazine. I had zero experience, like -0. But I knew why, and I figured the how would find me, because the why is the most important thing. So here we are, launching a magazine. Back then it was digital, and we ran the YMag for 4.5 years. The purpose behind YMag is it's real, it's tangible, it's talking about your purpose in life, your why, sharing real women on the covers, no celebrities, no gossip, no diets, no fashion. We don't want to know, there's enough of that. We can get access to that whenever we need it. But let's talk about the things that actually matter. What's the legacy you're going to be leaving behind? Why do you get up every day? And so after 4.5 years, our readers actually crowdfunded us and took us to a print product. And we launched from digital to print in the most lowest print form market in Australia. So many print houses were closing. And I said, I'm going to take this to print. And nearly everyone around me that I told said I was crazy. And I know your story of like, what are you doing? I had a very successful mentoring business. I was running events, over 300 events in Australia for professionals, and they were doing extremely well. And I was going to close both of those businesses to take a digital product to print. Like, really? And here we are 2 years later, being sold all over Australia and in airports, which is so hard to get into. And it just goes to show that, again, if you know the why, you'll find the how. But I just knew in my heart that professional women in Australia, entrepreneurial, savvy, unstoppable mamas, wanted something real. They love digital, and they were all across that. But what they wanted was some time out. They want to get sent to their room with a good magazine, glass of wine, cup of tea, and they want to read an article like we featured your beautiful daughter. We have a section called Why Teens, and we featured gorgeous Hanalei because we like to showcase teenagers. They're our future. And it gives mums at our age no excuse to go, way, I can't do that. If she can, I can. We just wanted a way to create a non-disruptive environment to consume content that was going to shift your life without an email or Twitter or Instagram pinging on the page, just you and a good mag. And 2 years later, we're still running.
Wow. Okay. This is awesome. I love this. First off, the article that you ran and the feature you ran for Hanalei, I'm so excited to actually touch and feel it.
We'll get one.
Right? And it's really interesting because everyone knows me here. I'm about numbers, I'm about measurement, I'm about traffic, right? And there's something that just shifted for me recently. Not only when Shar put Hanalei in the magazine, Hanalei was featured in a few other magazines. And what I realized is there is such a bigger audience that does love that feels. It's a feels moment, isn't it?
It's a tactile thing.
That's it, right? And to be able to just connect and to sit with a good mag. I love how you said that. There's nothing pinging at you. It's undisrupted. And I started to really understand, because, everyone says it, newspaper, magazines. I used to do newspaper ads when I was running my business, like 3-line ads. Back 13 years ago, that's all I did, right? It was ridiculous to even think I did that. And now, even still, you've seen publications and they maintain their print, but they've gone online as well. And so I started to realize, wow, the power of being on the cover of a magazine, the back cover of a magazine, and to be able to have you featured, like the credibility that gives immediately to, let's say, your speaker, your coach, your consultant, and on your website, it's got a stamp that says, I was featured on Y Mag, or I was featured here, is powerful. It's instant brand positioning. So I'm going to say it on the record, is that I now understand the value of the layering of having something that's sitting, that you can hold on to, that you can showcase that you're in. And of course, now you are also online as well, right? So
we're still online. We're still online. We've always been digital, and we won't change that. And it is a blend of both worlds. But the so-called rumor of print is dead, it's so not.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, just look at, if you're in airports, just imagine how many of you, by the way, our followers, our watchers, how many of you could imagine, I just saw Letitia go, oh my gosh, I need to be on that magazine, right? They're already like, oh my gosh, I need to be on that magazine. How many of you could imagine and see yourself, just imagine you've got this gorgeous publication and you're on the front cover and your whole story is featured. And now when you're communicating or sharing on your shows or on podcasts, or you're going onto stages, can you imagine pitching yourself and saying, yes, I've also been featured on the cover of Y Magazine, one of Australia's top magazine for women. Like, do you realize the positioning that does for your brand and for the acceptance of the promoter? It's massive. And I know this because everyone knows I put media kits together for all of our inner circle and our private clients. They need this stuff. They need to say, yes, I've spoken here. I've been on this podcast. I'm on the cover of the Y Mag. I'm here. They've been on my show. Like, I give them banners to say they've been on my show so they can show that credibility. So, and this is powerful. And I appreciate this, Shar.